Those who attend Grace Church or follow the ministry of our pastor are already aware that he suffered a series of health issues that kept him out of the pulpit and required 3 surgeries in the second half of 2024. His recovery has been slower than expected, with occasional setbacks affecting his heart, lungs, and kidneys. The doctors have not yet discovered any single root cause for these diverse troubles, and John has been hospitalized for the past 2 weeks, undergoing tests and treatments. So please pray for him and for the physicians that are handling the case, for the physicians that they will identify a suitable treatment or treatments, and for John that he will recover strength and health enough to resume public ministry. Pastor John and his family covet your prayers. Please pray earnestly and steadfastly. Our pastor desires to return to his beloved church soon. In fact, let's pray for him now.
Since July that I've preached here on a Sunday, that wouldn't have been my choice, but I think as Grace just sung, sometimes our trials are blessings in disguise. And God has purposes that we would never have been able to fulfill if we weren't put into some kind of stress. I can tell you I've had 3 heart surgeries and a surgery on my lungs in those last few months, and I'm still here. So I'm thankful to the Lord for that.
Hello, Anointed Ones. Welcome back to the Anointed TV channel. Today, we're discussing the latest updates about Pastor John MacArthur's health, especially given the flurry of rumors and misinformation circulating online. Many of you, like me, have been concerned and waiting for trustworthy updates. Thankfully, Phil Johnson of Grace Community Church recently spoke out on social media to clear the air. Someone sent him a message on X saying, "Phil, a poster on X is saying John is dying in the hospital. Please weigh in. I pray that it's bogus." So, let's break this down. Yes, Pastor John MacArthur is hospitalized. But no, he is not dying or in hospice care. According to Phil, this treatment is part of John's recovery from his previous surgeries, including heart valve and lung procedures. To give you some perspective, Pastor John has continued to minister throughout his health journey. Though he hasn't preached since July 7th, he did participate in a Q&A session in October and delivered a sermon on November 24th titled, "The Unfailing Promises of God." Now, about these rumors, some individuals have been spreading misinformation, claiming that Grace Community Church leaders are hiding details about Pastor John's condition. Phil Johnson has strongly refuted this, calling it despicable and a sinister lie. Here's what he shared on X, formerly known as Twitter, directly addressing the rumors about Pastor John's condition. A poster. Anonymous, of course. And he's a chowderhead with a long-standing devilish agenda who always pretends to know more than he really does. John MacArthur is currently getting treatment for some symptoms that have plagued his recovery from heart valve replacement. Those who need to know more details do know. There's no conspiracy by the elders at GCC to keep people from hearing the information they need to know. John is currently hospitalized, and the persistence of these symptoms is a concern. But the suggestion that he has been handed over to palliative care is a sinister lie, concocted by this pernicious character who has been lying about JM and GCC for 5+ years. Ignore him. John MacArthur has never wanted public announcements to be made about his health. It's one of his quirks, and it is a years-old policy of his. The scarcity of public announcements about his health is not something unique to this current illness. It's an understandable policy, and there's nothing perfidious about it. It's frankly tiresome having to answer thousands of questions about one's health and deal with scores of quack remedies given by well-meaning persons. I know this from experience. It's why HIPAA rules exist. People who think John is obliged to make regular public reports about his health on social media aren't living in the real world. Beyond what I've said here, it's John's and his family's prerogative to make public announcements about his health whenever and however they see fit. That someone would treat John MacArthur's health issues as fodder for publicly demeaning him and questioning the integrity of GCC's elders is despicable evidence of a corrupt and wretched heart. Do continue to pray for John's full recovery. and, though this should go without saying, have nothing to do with talebearers and scandalmongers. There you have it. John MacArthur is currently getting treatment for some symptoms that have plagued his recovery from heart valve replacement. He is hospitalized, but the suggestion that he is dying or in hospice care is a sinister lie. Those who need to know more details do know. Please continue to pray for his full recovery. Phil added that these rumors were started by someone with a history of spreading false information about Grace Community Church and Pastor John. He urged everyone to ignore these unfounded claims and focus on prayer for John's health. It's also important to note that John MacArthur has always been private about his health. Phil explained this as a long-standing policy, not something unique to his current situation. And frankly, it's his right to decide what details are shared publicly. While we're talking about Phil Johnson, let's remember to keep him in our prayers as well. Phil is currently battling bone cancer and undergoing intense treatment, including chemotherapy. His transparency and strength have been a powerful testimony during his own health challenges. Here is what he posted. For those asking me to give an update on my health, here's the current plan. For the next few days, I'm going to feel pretty good. It's been 2+ weeks since they gave me the cocktail of drugs I took for 5 months to put the cancer in remission. But on January 10th, or thereabout, they start with the very strong chemo that will destroy my bone marrow and make my hair fall out. By the last week of this month, I'll have no immune system and no hair. I'll be hospitalized in isolation for 2 weeks, and they'll inject stem cells they intend to harvest while my by-now defunct bone marrow is fighting to stay alive. That will slowly regenerate the bone marrow and give me a few extra years with more innate strength for my body to fight the cancer. I'm told that when the new bone marrow finally takes over, it will reboot my whole immune system. I'll have the natural immunity of a newborn. They're recommending getting the infant vaccinations for measles, mumps, and rubella again. Weird, but that's what they are telling me. To wrap up, let's focus on what matters most, praying for Pastor John MacArthur's full recovery and for Phil Johnson's strength as he faces his treatment. It's a reminder of God's sovereignty and the importance of uplifting one another in times of trial. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. Until next time, may God richly bless you and your loved ones.